יש דברים שאסור לראות. תשמור על העולם ילד, אם תראה תפסיק להיות גיבור של העולם ילד, עם חיוך של מלאכים. תשמור על העולם ילד, כי אנחנו כבר לא מצליחים. תשמור על העולם ילד, אל תגזים במחשבות, כי כמה שתדע יותר ילד אתה רק.
They said that in blood and fire Judea fell, and in blood and fire Judea will rise. And it has been and continues to be. And we continue to mourn those who in their death gave us life. The Memorial Day for me, Yom Hazikaron for me, did not start in 1948 or in 1949. But I remember the first memorial, the first Yom Hazikaron that I attended, and it was when I was 6 years old in 1939. And that Yom Hazikaron took place in the 11th day of Adar, which is the Memorial Day for those who fell prior to the State of Israel in the defense of the Jewish settlements, and in particular in Tel Chai, where Yosef Trumpeldor is the first casualty that I remember. Yosef Trumpeldor was the one-armed hero. He had one arm because he lost it being an officer in the Russian army against the Japanese. And he came to Palestine and was organizing the defense of Tel Chai, which is a small village very close to Kibbutz Kfar Giladi. And Tel Chai was attacked. The attack was expected by marauding Arabs from the area and also from Lebanon. And in defense of Tel Chai, Trumpeldor got shot and was killed. Those who fell gave their life so the rest of us shall live. And these are the points that I always think about when we're approaching Yom Hazikaron. I hope that those of us who are now in the diaspora will take a moment to think about that and to activate the Jewish genealogy and remember that they died for all of us.
עוד יש מפרש לבן באופק מול ענן שחור כבד, כל שנבקש לו יהי. ואם בחלונות הערב אור נרות החג רועד, כל שנבקש לו יהי.
I planned and I was in Israel, and I was fortunate to have two of my daughters visit on each year And on that day, I went with them to Mount Herzl in Jerusalem. And it is the most moving time to see thousands of Israelis with all the families going to this military cemetery on Mount Herzl. And exactly at 11 o'clock, the siren sounds and everybody stops. Buses, cars, nothing moves. Everybody.
For me, Yom Hazikaron is a really tough day, and I don't know, since I'm here, it's even tougher. I feel like a little bit kind of out of place. I really feel that I should be there, and it's really hard on that day. And it doesn't matter. Some people will ask me, "Do you have someone that died?" You don't have to have someone that died. I feel connected so much. And when you think about
I just wanted to mention on Yom Hazikaron, every time we watched the programs on TV, and my mother used to cry each time, seeing all the wives and the mothers that lost their children. And I used to say, "Mom, why are you crying? You didn't lose anybody." And she said, "You will understand when you get older and you have children, they go to the army, you would feel what those mothers are feeling. You would feel for these people." And that's why we are thinking about them today.
Hi, my name is Eli, and I served in the IDF as a welfare officer for 2 years. In my job, I was responsible to take care of bereaved families and badly wounded soldiers. To me, Yom Hazikaron is a very difficult day. But unlike most people that think about the soldiers that died during action and during the service, I always think about the families that lost their loved ones. Each soldier that died had a spouse or parents and brothers and sisters and a whole network of friends and people he knew in the neighborhood, and all these people have been affected. Their life has been totally changed since they lost this person. Many times we forget to mention the people who got wounded or badly wounded and became disabled during the service. We're talking about 18, 19, 20, 21 years old boys and girls who became disabled and have to live their lives. And also, with the bereaved families, one of the biggest problems is the loneliness. Nobody likes to be around sad people, and it's very important to keep in touch with these people also after Yom Hazikaron and during the whole year and all through their lives, and offer support.
Hello, my name is Tom Cheatham, and I just wanted to tell you a little bit about my feelings for Yom Hazikaron. I think in general it's difficult for the American public to identify as strongly, or the Jewish American public to identify as strongly with Yom Hazikaron as Israelis do. But I think my story will have an impact on some of the thinking around the deep meaning of the Yom Hazikaron memorialization in Israel. As you all know, Yom Hazikaron precedes the Day of Independence, which is a day of great happiness. But Yom Hazikaron is about the soldiers who have passed and about the victims of terror in Israel. And I spent my personal life as an American. I went to Israel in 1970 and spent 13 years there, 6.5 years of them with the IDF. And I remember being in Israel during every single Yom Hazikaron. And I remember always driving to the base or driving to work, and stopping my car and listening to the sirens and making a deep connection with those who have passed, those who helped to support this country, the country of Israel, and all that it means. Israel means so much to America and to Americans, Jews, and we need very much to make the connection between the contribution of those valiant soldiers, the men and women who fell in battle and the men and women who fell under terrorist attacks, and to make a connection with our own destiny here in the United States. And I think many of us do not make that connection as strongly as it should be made, and we need to value the contribution of the IDF to not only the security of America as a country, but to the security of its Jewish population.
על הנגב יורד ליל הסתיו ומצית כוכבים חרש חרש את הרוח עובר על הסף עננים מהלכים על הדרך כבר שנה איך עברו הזמנים בשדותינו כבר שנה ונותרנו מעט מרבים שאינם כבר בעינינו אך נזכור את כולם את יפי
Yom Hazikaron means it's a very sad day for me. As I remember myself as a teenager, one of my relatives died in the Hatasha war at the Suez Canal. We start to believe and to live with it, that part of our life in Israel is to sacrifice our life. Every Yom Hazikaron we try to honor it, to respect it, to light candles. If we can go to a cemetery, we go to a cemetery, or in Israel, if we're in Israel, or if we are here in the States, we watch a lot of documentaries and movies about the wars, about mostly it's stories of parents or siblings of people who lost their loved ones. It's hard to reflect or to explain it. It's very deep feeling. And only somebody who passed it personally on himself will understand that.
The strength of the Jewish people is still with us. And this is what I feel every year when we all come together and in solidarity. It just shows, the strength of the Jewish people. This is
ענה בכוח גדולת ימינך תטיל צרועה קבל רינת עמך סלבנו תארנו נורא בכוח גדולת ימינך תטיל צרועה קבל רינת עמך סלבנו תארנו נורא נא גיבור